A very good evening and welcome to Primetime News live from the Newsfirst Centre here in Colombo. I'm Madhushka Balasurya.
Good evening, I'm Hizrina Hizbi, and in your headlines tonight.
President states that he will render his service to the people irrespective of party differences. Educational qualifications a must for public representatives, a statement from Vidura Vikramanayaka.
යම්කිසි විභාගයක් පාස් වෙච්ච අය පමණක් මේ විකට එනවා නම් දැන් හොඳයි මොකද හැමෝටම නිදහස් අධ්‍යාපනය තුල ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්.
4 killed after falling into a sewage pit in Ramukkana. The Mattala airport will not be closed down under any circumstance, Deputy Minister of Civil Aviation reiterates. Police state that drug traffickers should be arrested with drugs in possession in order to file legal action.
And now for the news in detail. President Maithripala Sirisena says that a proper national education policy will be created. The President made this statement addressing an event in Galle today.
The event to felicitate Venerable Udugama Samithathera, who was vested with the position of Chief Sanganayaka of Hinidum Pattuma, took place today at the Sri Gunananda Buddhist Centre in Kindingala, located in Nelluwa, was presided over President Maithripala Sirisena. The Dhamma Hall constructed at the Vihara was declared open by the President. The President later declared open the IT lab of the Nelluwa National School.
We have planned to create a transformation in the free education sector of the country through new educational reforms in the future. You do not need to engage in pickets on the streets until you obtain employment after achieving a degree in arts in the university. Such situations arise when there are shortcomings in the education system. As the new government, we hope to bring together the educationist, the National Institute of Education, the National Education Commission and others in order to bring about new changes and transformations required for the education system. We need to address the shortcomings and create a new education policy.
The President emphasized that he does not have any party differences.
As President, I work devoid of any party differences. Green, blue and red colors are not included in the development of the country. I respect the political party which I belong to. On one hand, I work on the political vision. However, while serving as President, I do not function under any political affiliation. I need to state that clearly.
4 people have died after falling into a pit latrine in the Parape area in Rambukkana. This tragedy took place when a rescue attempt was made to save a woman who had fallen into the pit latrine.
34-year-old Nirupama Harshini Kumari from Medenia Parape, located in Ramukkana, had unexpectedly fallen into the pit latrine while sweeping her garden. She had fallen into the pit latrine along with the concrete slab. The locals in the area had undertaken a relentless effort to rescue the fallen woman. In order to rescue her, 3 persons had climbed down the pit latrine. However, according to eyewitness accounts, they had fallen into the area in an unconscious state.
I was about to climb down, but they stopped me, so I did not. They said that because of the toxic gas, the others had fallen into the pit latrine. It was around 9 in the morning. The woman fell in first. Because of the screams, those who were in the shop rushed to the rescue. One by one, when they climbed down, they fell into the pit latrine unconscious. It was because of the toxic gas.
The initial victim, 34-year-old Nirupama Harshini Kumari, was a mother of 3, while her youngest is only a year old. Her brother-in-law, a 44-year-old married man who went into her rescue, also died as a result of the toxic gas. The other victims were neighbors and were aged 54 and 41 years, both fathers of 2 children. The bodies have been directed to the Kegol JMO for further study.
Methane gas is the main reason for such incidents. It has no specific odor or color. So it is impossible to definitely say it's methane gas. If you are cautious, you will realize that along with the methane gas, there will be hydrogen sulfide gas. The hydrogen sulfide gas has an odor. What methane gas does is reduce the oxygen molecules in the air. Then you will choke without air. You need to be cautious when entering places with less oxygen.
The Working Committee of the United National Party has decided to contest the general election under its own steam. The decision was taken when the UNP Working Committee chaired by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe convened this morning.
A special meeting of the United National Party Working Committee was convened today and the next election was broadly discussed at the meeting. UNP media spokesperson Akhila Viraj Karyavasam said that the Prime Minister had informed the party that the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be presented to Parliament next week.
A resolution was passed. It was decided that we will contest as a separate party. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, the current leader of the party, was vested with the power to appoint the nominations board. Once the parliament is dissolved, the party convention will be held in Colombo and the people will be amassed together to obtain a resounding victory for the United National Party and the parliamentary election. This was broadly discussed and a committee was also appointed. The Prime Minister also informed that the 20th Amendment to the Constitution will be presented in Parliament during the next week. We hope to obtain the support for that. The UNP has also focused on making the opposition withdraw the motions.
Now, a dialogue is taking place in order to prevent individuals that encourage the drug trade, fraud and corruption from entering Parliament. A majority view is that the preferential voting system needs to be abolished. Recently, MP Vidura Vikramanayake said that 94 individuals who had failed their O-level exams and 124 individuals who had failed their A-level exams are in Parliament. Speaking today, the MP said that educational qualifications need to be created in order to be a parliamentarian.
We do not need an election system where the desires of political parties, groups and individuals are fulfilled. We need an electoral system that will enable the fulfillment of the people's aspirations. A system where the elected public representatives will be able to serve their voters. We propose that when a public representative is elected to Parliament, he or she must let go of any other positions, be it in trade or business or any other institution. There need to be a scale to measure the intelligence as well. The only way that can be done is through an examination. If persons who have passed some sort of an examination, it will be good. Everyone is educated through the free education system. Persons who never went to school on a rainy day are visiting schools and lecturing students. What is this? Are these the people who are ruling us?
We consider the 20th Amendment to the Constitution as important. Today the preferential vote system is like a parasite. Persons who can find money like criminals and thieves can come through the preferential vote system. Therefore, there needs to be a change. All the communities needs to be brought together as a political program on national level needs to be created.
මෛත්‍රී මහින්ද එකඟතාවයන් ඇති කරන්න විවිධ පාර්ශවයන්
There are persons who joined with President Maithripala Sirisena's victory later on who are attempting to create an accord between him and Mahinda. If someone is attempting to do that, that is in violation of the people's victory achieved on the 8th of January. We emphasize that President Maithripala Sirisena must only agree with the civil organizations that worked with the people's forces to achieve his victory on the 8th of January.
ඒ ජනවාරි 8 වෙනිදා ජයග්‍රහණය සඳහා කටයුතු කරපු ඒ සිවිල් සංවිධාන ඒ පුරවැසි සංවිධාන ඒ ජනතා බලවේග සමග එක්ව කටයුතු කරන එක.
In 400 BC, the Greek philosopher Plato proclaimed that knowledge is the food of the soul. By 1096 AD, the University of Oxford opened its doors, and yet knowledge eluded many. Knowledge is free. Knowledge is freedom. The Newsfirst Online Academy. Coming soon.
Welcome back to the news. Veteran actor Tony Ranasinghe, who rendered a yeoman's service to the Sri Lankan cinema industry through various avenues, was laid to rest today. The funeral of the late Tony Ranasinghe took place in Mathumagala, Mahapage.
Tony Ranasinghe who breathed his last at the age of 77, was one who rendered a great service towards the progress of the cinema industry of Sri Lanka. His body was moved to the art gallery this morning. President Maithripala Sirisena arrived at the art gallery to pay his veterans in the field, politicians and many others arrived to pay their last respects. Tony Ranasinghe, who made his debut in acting through the Ramthodu, a stage drama, was later known as the Shakespeare of Sri Lankan plays. Sri Lankan viewers were able to enjoy world-famous Shakespeare plays such as The Merchant of Venice, Julius Caesar and Othello because of the relentless efforts undertaken by persons such as Tony Ranasinghe. Tony Ranasinghe, that entered cinema in 1964 through Gamperaliya, gave new life to the youth movement of this country. He also contributed to the productions of Delowak Athara, Parasatumal, Hantane Kathawa, Duhulu Malak and Ahasin Polavata. Tony Ranasinghe, who took to screenwriting with Kotiwaligeya, went on to win not only local but also international accolades for his unique talents. It was the late Tony Ranasinghe who was actively involved in the screenwriting of the hit teledrama Nonavarima Thruni, which was aired on Sirasa TV. After the body was moved to the art gallery for the last respect to be paid, the body was taken to the cemetery for the final rites. The body of the late Tony Ranasinghe was taken to the Sacred Heart Church in Mathumagala. A mass was held at the church. Subsequent to the observances at the church, the body was taken to the Gal Udupita Roman Catholic Cemetery. Tony Ranasinghe, who warmed the hearts of Sri Lankan viewers young and old for over 5 decades in the cinema industry, leaves behind creations that will be enjoyed for years to come.
There is a drug menace rapidly captivating the youth, the next generation of our country. There is much debate within society with regard to the connection between the drug menace and politicians. News First has launched a program against the drug menace which is disrupting the development of the country and has no value for human life. News First reported on this topic through various aspects over the recent past, and tonight we focus on the connection between the string of murders in Kotaketana and the drug trade.
Located in close proximity to Kahavatta, a town well known for the trade of gems, is the small agricultural village of Kotaketana. This stream, which runs across the village, became the sole reason for a tragedy to strike the village, which used to wake up to peaceful mornings. This stream soon became home of large-scale moonshine manufacturing and is well known among the smugglers as the Moonshine Spring or Kasipulpata. When this illegal activity was carried out in a small scale by a group of villagers, a brother of a local politician in the area gave the boost for it to take place in a much more larger scale. In this backdrop, though many murders took place in Kotaketana from the year 2008, the brutal killing of a mother and a daughter in 2012 is considered to be the first in the infamous killing spree in Kotaketana. Former member of the Kodakavela Pradeshiya Sabha, L.H. Dharmasiri, was arrested over the double homicide. It was reported that this individual worked as the coordinating secretary to a powerful minister at the time. The younger victim of the double killing, 19-year-old Kavindya Chaturangani, was a student at Ferguson High School in Ratnapura, and her house is located right next to the house of Raju, the chief suspect in the double homicide. Raju was incidentally the brother of former politico Dharmasiri. Investigations carried out by the CID revealed that the double homicide was the result of a dispute over a drug dealing. 18 murders took place here. The main reason for this is the drug trade. Leading politicians are the ones who brought this ill practice here to Kotaketana. The strength for this is provided by the politicians and the secretaries. Kavindya and her mother were killed because the girl was used as a drug mule. With the condemnation of this practice, the murders took place. I only ask that the village be restored to its previous state.
After the
murder of Kavinda and her mother, 8 killings were reported within 2 to 3 years. Some doors of houses were almost knocked down at times.
Fear is instilled among all. They want to continue and spread this trade. They started the drug trade without any fear. You cannot even go to the town and speak to someone. The police officer in town was not allowed to carry out his duty. You do not know what these eyes have witnessed. If a motorbike was stopped, the local politicians used their force, preventing the police from carrying out their duty. They even used children as mules to transport the drugs. Everything took place as they wished. The younger generations were ruined because they taught them how to handle a weapon. The fear among the children disappeared because of that.
Drugs came into Kotaketana when these individuals obtained power. It was due to the drugs that 18 people were killed. Those ministers brought drugs to half these people, and those individuals were connected to the murders. The brothers of these politicians have been arrested and later were released. This is a very powerful individual. There is a very powerful individual. That individual has been involved in taking these arrested individuals out. We ask that these individuals who peddle drugs be arrested.
We have only one request. That request is to bring these individuals before the law and punish them. This is my request on behalf of the people of Kotaketana. These murderers have tried to come into the house in which my sister and her daughter was residing, and they had tried to come in through the roof. Then my sister had called my brother. He had gone and taken them out. The murderers have mentioned this in one of their confessions, that they tried to go into this house, and because it was made futile, they had gone into the other house and murdered them.
No. There is an investigation with regard to drugs that is currently taking place. To be trialed on drugs, the individual must be arrested while possessing drugs.
The brother of the local politician was arrested with drugs. Why isn't the investigation taking place?
No, he was not arrested while possessing heroin. Now this Velesuda individual has revealed many names, but we cannot arrest them.
What if I say that even though information has come to light in the Kotaketana incident, that this information has not been given attention to by the police?
No, I can deny it. We will not hesitate to move forward if clear information comes to light.
What you are saying is that even though information came to light that a packet of drugs was handed over, is not enough to file a case?
Information can come to light, but a pretext is needed to file a case.
Still at home, the Criminal Investigations Department today informed court on the progress it has made regarding Velesuda, who is currently held under remand custody for several drug-related charges. Teledrama actress Udayanthi Kulathunga also appeared in court today.
The CID informed Colombo Chief Magistrate that the individual known as Velesuda had made cash deposits on a number of occasions to the bank accounts of teledrama actress Udayanthi Kulathunga. CID informed court that around 3,000 telephone numbers that Velesuda had contacted while he was residing abroad have been investigated. CID also informed court that investigations have revealed that the assets of Udayanthi Kulathunga were being investigated and that 10 million rupees that were deposited to her bank accounts were later transferred to the bank accounts of her sister. CID informed the magistrate that all these funds were deposited to the individual known as Velesuda by representatives in the country through Sri Lankan currency. The case will be taken up again on the 3rd of July.
The CID questioned me over unknown phone calls. Later, they froze my accounts. In addition, money that was given to me by my brother-in-law was transferred to my sister's account. That too has been frozen. I came here seeking relief from the courts. When I went to Dubai, fans spoke to me. I do not know of this Velesuda. My sister has been engaged in businesses for over 22 years and not from Velesuda's money.
Say no to drugs. National program to raise awareness to stop the rapid spread of drugs across the country. Phase 1 on the 26th, 27th and 28th of June in the Northern Province, covering all districts. Phase 2 in the Southern Province. Phase 3 in the Central Province. Phase 4 in the Eastern Province. We will visit your home to create a drug-free country. Say no to drugs. A social responsibility undertaken by Sirasa, Shakti and Newsfirst and the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board.
Welcome back. Lakshman Yapa Abewardena, the Deputy Minister of Civil Aviation Service, says that the Mattal International Airport will not be shut down. The Deputy Minister who inspected the airport today noted that relief will be provided in order to attract aviation companies.
The Mattal International Airport, which was opened on the 18th of February 2013, has been restricted to one flight per day. Deputy Minister Lakshman Yapa Abewardena inspected the airport that was built with Chinese funds aimed at facilitating 1 million passengers per year. The airport has the longest runway for a A380, which is the biggest passenger aircraft in the world. The airport also comprises of a cargo terminal which can facilitate 45,000 metric tons of cargo annually.
In the history of our country, none of the development initiatives have yielded instant benefits. There were many allegations against the Mahaveli development project, but the same project turned out to be one of the most important projects in the country. There were allegations against Norochole, but now the project has come to a stage where we can complete the debt where we took to finish the project. The Mattal airport can be developed. We have to state this very clearly. We will not close this down under any circumstance.
The Deputy Minister stated that the government's aspiration is to develop the Mattal International Airport through an open aviation services policy. Thereby, any international airline with a bilateral aviation services agreement with Sri Lanka will be allowed to enter the Mattal Airport.
We will facilitate international airlines to enter the airport independently. We will produce a gazette notification in this regard in the coming months. Currently, this system is present in 8 countries. Sri Lanka will become the 9th country to use this system. Our objective is to create 5 journeys in and out from 5 countries to this airport. We also hope in the future to reduce an amount of $0.10 when purchasing fuel from this airport.
Sajid Premadasa, the Minister of Housing and Samurdhi, says that foreign forces will not be allowed to exert pressure on the country. The Minister made this statement at an event in Veerakatia today.
This event was held in the Sandun Uyeni in Veerakatia East under the Samata Sahana drinking water project. No one will impose economic sanctions on the country. No one will be able to exert pressure internationally on the country. The President, together with everyone in the government, are working together with the world in a cordial manner while protecting the respect and sovereignty of the country. We will never betray the country. The leaders of the country will never betray the war heroes.
Now shifting back to our coverage on the drug menace affecting society today, United National Party Western Provincial Councillor S.M. Marika says that 75% of Kolonnawa has been cleared from the drug trade. The councillor made this statement while distributing equipment to 7 sports clubs in Kolonnawa.
There are no murders reported from Kolonnawa. There are thugs in Kolonnawa. The underworld does not operate in Kolonnawa anymore. By February, over 40 small-time drug dealers were nabbed. Today, 75% of Kolonnawa has been cleared from drugs. Within the next 2 months, Kolonnawa, which transformed into a drug centre, will be freed from the drugs menace. Therefore, we have democracy. We will eradicate the drug menace and have many more things that will happen. I can responsibly state that there has been no reduction in drugs in the recent past in Kolonnawa. There are around 6,000 to 7,000 persons who use heroin. If there was a reduction, we need to see that. We should be able to meet persons who are finding it difficult without drugs while traveling in the streets. Usually addicts cannot wait without using drugs. That has not happened. Heroin is flowing into Kolonnawa. We are aware that there is a flow of drugs into Kolonnawa. It cannot be simply stopped by large operations. This needs more planning. I do not think that there has been a reduction in the use of drugs in this area.
Well, let's hope the rain stays away for tomorrow. But yes, with that, we wrap up this edition of Primetime News. I've been your anchor, Manishka Balasuriya.
And I'm Hizrina Hizbi. Take care, good night, and have a pleasant weekend ahead.
Newsfirst.